Hey, ladies, and welcome to Girl Talk Conversations. I am your host, Camry G, and this is a space for real, honest conversations about life, growth, relationships, and everything in between. Disclaimer: we are by no means experts. We are simply just women navigating life, learning as we go, and sharing our experiences along the way. No filters, no perfection, just real talk with real women. So get comfortable, take a breath, and let's get into today's conversation. Well, I'm happy to say that for the debut episode, I am not doing this alone. I am joined by some amazing women today, friends, voices I trust, and women who keep it real. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the introductions. The first woman is my day one. She is the one who knows all of my business and still chooses to sit next to me in public. Y'all give it up for Caitlin.
Hi.
And without further ado, this next woman came later in my life, but she has seen me laugh, cry, pray, and grow, and still chooses to love me through it all. So without further ado, let's give it up for Jessica.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me, ladies. And now I want you all to know that these are more than my friends. These are my sisters. So again, let's give them a warm welcome. Thank you for joining, ladies. For the first topic, we're going to discuss the meaning behind the name and why it was chosen. So, fun fact: I have been planning this podcast for a few years now. I had some people come in my life, encourage me to start it. Of course, life happened, fell off. But then I had these wonderful ladies that's joining today push me and like, you can do this. So here we are. So here is the title: Girl Talk, Conversations with an All-Encompassing Woman. First off, I just wanted to create a space for people in their maybe early 20s and up to discuss everything honestly and like to grow with others, to think openly, allow both men and women a platform to know that they are not alone. Because oftentimes we can get in the rut of thinking like we're the only ones going through this. Nobody understands. I'm guilty of it too. And I just want us to move past that and know that we are all in this together. And despite what we may think, I might be going through the same thing that Jessica may be going through, and vice versa. Or Caitlin may have already gone through the thing that I'm just now going through. So instead of putting myself in a rut by myself, thinking that this is the end of the world, reach out to your fellow loved ones, your friends, your sisters, and we can get through this together. So, another goal for this podcast, I wanted to provide insights on topics that others may think is unorthodox, right? So, as humans, we can provide a safe space for others and ourselves and allow us to think outside of the box because we're not experts, but we are going through life. Um, so, back to those questions I want y'all to ask. There is an email address in place. It's called girl let's talk about it all at gmail.com. And that is the space that I want viewers to use. I want you to respond to the questions, include questions that you may want to be included on the show. If you prefer to remain anonymous, that's fine, I get it. But I want you to step out, right, and ask the questions that you may have been sitting on for a couple of months or a couple of years. Like, dang, nobody understands. You never know. And this platform, this podcast, is going to be a way for us to get those questions out there. Few rules to the podcast and to those questions: no negativity. We're not doing that. Everyone has to be willing to listen to other people's perspectives. It doesn't mean you have to like it, but just hear out where they're coming from. Just be open, be empathetic, And I want us to use some critical thinking skills. So, without further ado, we're going to move into the next topic. So, for the first question, what does an all encompassing woman look like to you? Well, it wouldn't be fair for me not to answer the question that I'm asking all of you. So, to me, an all encompassing woman is essentially able to embrace the cards that life has dealt her and to make the best out of that situation, right? So, someone who puts in the work for themselves spiritually, emotionally, and practically to push themselves to become the version of themselves they dream of. It's not just staying put and being stagnant because we are meant to grow. We're human beings in this life. And in society, labels are common, unfortunately. But to me, it's someone who takes a machete to that label and makes it their own. So, for example, a family woman, right? To me, that doesn't mean you have to give up yourself and your goals. To me, it means finding the right partner in life to allow you the space to improve yourself. Balance, because it's important to me, and I believe in relationships, it should be two separate individuals and a unit, not just giving up yourself to become that unit, if that makes sense. But we will get into that into another podcast. But essentially, doing what works best for you. Another view I have on being an all encompassing woman, it holds different responsibilities in itself, right? So, like, you can be an all encompassing woman, all encompassing friend, partner, child. The list is endless. Nothing should go lacking because, as women, I think multitasking and investing in others is our superpower. But I don't want women to stop investing in themselves. I'm a girl's girl. I want us to do what's best for us, be there for others, but at the same time, right, there's that quote, you can't pour from an empty cup. And that is so real. So, Jessica, what do you think an all encompassing woman looks like?
All right. So I think an encompassing woman is someone that is well rounded, able to
Okay.
walk in any room, confident, self awareness. So basically, that could be in any type of friendship with dealing with your family, relationship. Um, you're able to adapt to any type of atmosphere, basically.
You're right. As women, we have to do that. So, I agree. Thank you. Caitlin, what does an all encompassing woman look like to you?
All encompass woman looks like to me is, I mean, I think anybody's all encompassing. I think we all take attributes from the people we're around, from the people who raised us. I think that the things that I lack, I feel like I get poured into from other people in my life. So I feel like everybody has all encompassing. I don't think we're all just like well rounded. We all have our own flaws and our own situations going on. So I feel like all encompassing be anything to anybody else.
I love that. All right. So later on in this podcast, I asked the same question to the viewers. I went through and found some of the best comments, and we're going to read those. So stay tuned in the end to see if your comment made the podcast. All right. So moving on to the next question. As a woman, what do you bring to the table in a relationship? Now, before y'all get me going in these comments, I know that this one is controversial at times, but I believe that it depends on your outlook. I'm pretty sure all three of us are going to have different answers, which is completely fine, right? That's back to the rules. Be open to everyone's perspective. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just how we feel. So, I'm going to give two different scenarios, and hopefully that'll help y'all think about it in a different way. But let's see what happens. So, for this question, I personally believe it depends on the setting, right? So, for example, for work, for me, I personally have a strong work ethic. I can attest that I have inherited that from my parents. That is not the same for everyone, and I understand that. I am dedicated. I'm always going to give 100% to any task that I am doing. Leadership. I believe in acting as though people are always watching because, I mean, communication, all of these things are important in your work, in your relationships. I think it goes hand in hand. I don't believe in talking at people. I believe at having that conversation and giving people the opportunity to respond because, as we talked about in this podcast already, just being able to listen to other people's perspectives. You don't have to agree. We're not going to agree. And adaptability. Things are constantly changing, whether it be in life, at work, wherever. So, those are some of the things I think I bring to the table from the work aspect. Now, if I'm talking about relationships, one of the main things for me is honesty. Please don't lie to me. Okay, I'm an Aries. I don't know if y'all get into zodiac signs, but that is not something that we love. So in hindsight, if you just tell me the truth, I can bounce back from it. It may take me a little bit because I'm human, but at the same time, I'll appreciate it more in the end. If you lie to me, it's like a done deal. You know, you think you're protecting me, but I'm not gonna be able to let that go. Communication again, keep it open. I'm not one to bite my tongue. These ladies know that because I'm gonna be like, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong?" They know this. That's why they laughing. So communication, but other things I bring into a relationship, patience, empathy. Um, I don't know if this is a good or bad one. Problem solving, you might not want me to solve your problems, but if you're like, I'm just not feeling it and you're my man, I'm gonna try to solve the problem. I might get on your nerves. Just tell me that. That's where communication comes in. Loyalty, great family values, emotional maturity. That is a big one. Household skills. I need you to know how to cook and clean. I'm not saying you're gonna have to do it, but if your girl is down bad, okay, somebody got to do these things. We might not can afford a maid or something. We need to know how to help each other. Just striving for a healthy dynamic, things like that. So the truth is, we all have unique qualities that we offer and bring to the table. But also, kind of to Caitlin's point earlier, everything can be shaped by our environment and our childhood, right? So we have to lean on each other. And the main thing is some people choose to use that as an excuse, right? Like, I don't want to change. This is just how I am. Take it or leave it. Some people may just need help and guidance to help improve themselves. And that's where empathy comes in. So that's my standpoint on what a woman or myself would bring to the table in a relationship. So, Jessica, what do you bring to a relationship?
All right, so I bring respect, support, love, affection, trust, care, communication, and compassion. But most importantly, bring your authentic self. I feel like when
Yes.
you bring your authentic self, that covers when you said honesty. Because if you're being yourself, you should be able to, that's being honest, you
Yeah.
know? So that is what I feel like I can bring to this table, being myself as a person.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
So when you say honesty, honesty in the sense of just being your authentic self,
Yeah.
what if the person is not like what if the person is like a pathological liar? Because that's a little bit different, right? So I get that you're saying like bring your authentic self,
Mhm.
totally, because we don't want nobody else. But in terms of what do you think about if they're not used to being honest, like communication wise? Do you think they can change that with time?
But they're gonna have to change that.
I
I
mean, yeah,
mean, I feel like being your authentic, be real. Like, don't be fake. Be yourself. Be who you are. Let me know. Like,
right.
and let me decide if I want to leave or stay.
Period. Okay, I like that. Caitlin, what do you bring to the table in a relationship? I know this
Uh,
is gonna be good. She already smiling.
to be completely honest, I feel like the whole dynamic of bringing something to the table is like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'd rather build the table with the person I'm with. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, when I get to the table, I'm me and being honest and real and everything. And I feel like you need communication, you need honesty, you need loyalty, you need trust. I feel like that's the basis for a relationship to start off, and then you build the table together. So yeah, I bring all those things, but I have to learn about my partner and do all that other hard work to build the table that we're sitting at. So we can't just come with a table already built. It doesn't make no sense.
I like that. And that's what I meant about different perspectives, because me and Jessica may not have thought about it in that way, but then when you said that, that totally makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we're just bringing a chair. Maybe I should have said, what kind of chair do you bring to the table?
Facts. I don't know.
All
I
right.
feel like everybody looks at relationships different. So I feel like we all just made it different for ourselves and what we wanted in a relationship or how we
Right.
view what a relationship looks like for us.
I like that. All right. Thanks, ladies. All right, ladies. So we've made it to the final question of the debut podcast, Behind the Name. Ladies, what do you believe your partner should bring to the table? Now, based on the before question, I know that this one's going to be interesting too. And now I'm kind of like second guessing my answer because Caitlin had a really good point. But I'm going to go with it and we're going to see what happens. So, for me, what do I believe my partner should bring? Number one is respect. If you don't respect me, you don't even respect your mom, your families, I don't know how this is going to work. But back to that communication, right? I'm willing to talk it out and see what we can do. If you just think it's a no go for you, then I don't know. Emotional intelligence. On a lighter note, sense of humor. If you can make me laugh, baby, you're good to go. Okay. I love a good sense of humor. Um, just a value based partnership. I feel like I can do that by myself. We need to be able to add to each other. We need to, as Caitlin said, build the table together. We need to be using the same tools because if the table's lopsided, things gonna be falling off. Patience, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lot. I can be a lot. I'm well aware of that. Mutual effort. I touched on those basic adulting skills before: cooking, cleaning, financial, not even financial like spending, just like good financial habits. Like in terms of like a long term relationship or even a marriage, we need to be able to build. One of us don't need to be spending all the money before we get the bills paid. Like there needs to be some good financial habits there. And I feel like that's for me, the mutual effort. Jessica, Caitlin, whoever wants to go first, what do you believe your partner should bring to the table?
Caitlin, you want me to go first?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So basically, what I think a partner should bring to the table, and what I would like for them to bring to the table, is structure, protection, security, communication, and vulnerability.
Okay, I like that.
Those are
Those are
good.
really good ones. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh,
Caitlin,
what I'd want my partner to bring to the table, I mean, basically the same thing I'm bringing is like willing to build on the foundation that we already have. Because at the end of the day, we have to grow together. I have to like, I mean, I'm not going to love you every day and I'm not going to like you every day. So I have to be able to like you at your worst and see you for who you are at your worst, just like you have to see me for who I am at my worst. So, like, honesty, communication, respect for sure is number one. But like being able to like understand and build with me at my worst because you got to love me at my worst because you got to still be with me. So I
yeah.
think those are always important.
I really like that too because what I was always told that, and y'all have probably heard this too, I've always been told that you need to rather see people through all of their seasons, right? Because if you just go in, and I'm not no shade to anybody who gets married in 3 weeks of meeting the person or a couple of months, because if that works for you, again, that works for you. But in my mind, I need to know. I need to see you go through grief. I need to know how you handle that. How do you handle losing a job or tough times, losing one of your best friends, not even through death, but maybe you just severed that relationship. I feel like I would need to see you through all of those seasons, but I would love also like my partner to be my friend first because then we always have that foundation. That's my perspective of that. But Caitlin, that point that made me think of that because you're right. We do need to love our partners even at our worst. We're not going to love you every day, but as long as we like you enough to,
Put in the
take
effort.
care of you. Yes,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
love
I
that.
think that, like, I mean, everybody has the great times, but then, like, have you ever seen that person down and out and then you have to build them back up? I mean, that's where the hard work comes in at.
Hmm. You the song, Can You Stand the Rain?
Yeah.
Yes. Jessica, anything you want to add?
I agree what Caitlin said as well. I think that is every point that she said was very important to for someone to bring to the table. I agree with both of you guys.
Okay. I feel like we've had some really good points so far. I'm excited. All right, ladies. So we mentioned at the beginning that we're going to have two Q&As, the first and second Sunday of the month. Well, we said that the best answers would be featured in this podcast, and we have four that we are going to read through right now, comment on, talk about, and we're going to shout you out. So make sure that you are liking, subscribing, following, and sharing all of the links on social media. So, our first Q&A responder from, and all of these are from the first Q&A with all, what does an all-encompassing woman look like to you? We have Lex. She said, from my point of view, being an all-encompassing woman means walking in many roles with grace, intention, and faith without losing myself in any of them. It means being strong yet soft, ambitious, yet grounded, nurturing, yet discerning. I pour into my family, my work, my purpose, and my community while also honoring the woman God is shaping me to be. Thank you so much, Lex, for sharing. Ladies, what do y'all think about her comment?
I think she's right. I feel like, again, all encompassing means something different to everybody. Everybody has their own point of view. Everybody has their own life situations, and I feel like pouring to yourself
Mhm.
and your community and your job and your family is what makes you who you are.
I agree. Jessica, did you want to say something?
I agree with the her definition of it because I feel like Caitlin said, everybody has their own way of expressing what something means to them, and I think she said everything above. And I mean, I feel like it's something positive, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I really agree with the without losing myself. That's
Yep.
big because it's easy to do. You
Mm.
can get so caught up in either work or school or wherever it is, being a mother, whatever the case, and you forget about yourself. Or the days just go by so fast and you have so much to do, and it's like, I'll get to that tomorrow. But we always tend to put things for us on the back burner. So I really like that. So thank you, Lex, for sharing. So the next commenter, Life with Kiwi, she said, hello, Camry G. An all encompassing woman to me is someone who empowers others with uplifting words of encouragement and affirmation, someone who builds others up without being afraid of tilting your own crown. Thank you for sharing Life with Kiwi. Ladies, what do y'all think of that?
I think that she's on the money. I feel like we should be more positive and try to, like, output good energy. I mean, it's hard. Life be life sometimes, but, like,
That's true.
I definitely always want to put my best foot forward. Does it always come off that way? But yeah, I agree. I think that, like, if that's how you view life, I think it's a really positive way to outlook at everything.
Yes,
Yes, I definitely agree with that comment as well.
I do too. Jessica can attest to this. I try my best to be positive. Some days some days it just gets the best of me, and I'm just like, I can't today. In the sense of like, I'm just quiet. I just shut down because I'm human. But on my best days, I am kind of positive and uplifting. I try to be the sunshine coming into the room, like, hey, how y'all doing? But some days it's just like life be life, and like Caitlin said. So yes, thank you, Life with Kiwi, for sharing.
I would like to add something to that as well. I feel like you're very self-aware, and I feel like you're one of the people that can walk in any room. You kind of like adjust and you kind of fix it, but then you go to your and you try to debrief of what has taken place. So I feel like that's where you're able to adapt to any room that you walk in.
Thank you. Thank you. I try. I
Mhm.
try. All right, ladies, we have two more comments because they were really good, so we chose four. This one came from Miss Catherine Johnson. She said, "My point of view of an all-encompassing woman is a woman who stays grinding, focused on her goals, and a woman who uplifts other women and individuals she comes in contact with in public." I like that. Be the light. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Any comments on this one?
I feel like she's putting good effort into like being who she wants to be, which is always grounding. I feel like you also need to make sure you take care of yourself in the compass of grinding because like you can,
Yes.
like you said, you can lose yourself when you're trying to like beat this mold that you feel like we should be hitting at a certain time in a certain place.
Yes. Please don't put yourselves on a clock. It's not worth it. It's really not. I also was one of those people, and honey, I had to learn how to let it go because life took place and it just didn't work. So now I'm just going with the flow. Still, it's hard, but sisterhood, right? Having a good group of girls, sisters to be there for you, talk you off the ledge if you need to, whatever you need. If you need to vent, cry, laugh, just being there. So I advise everyone if you can. If not, then hey, y'all just met y'all new virtual besties. But yeah, just find you, surround yourself with some good people that can give you the words that you may need to hear because it's hard. And I always think that it may be harder when you get older to make new friends. Do y'all agree? Like, because unless it's work, like, where are we going to meet these people?
I'll go outside.
But
So
I don't go outside. I mean, same. Has to be a concert or something.
if
But
I don't meet you at work, I ain't gonna meet you unless we meet at the grocery store.
Exxon, Publix, like, where are we going?
Yo,
Yes.
Not
But
gonna
yes.
happen. I'll be trying to get in and out them stores.
you better catch me
Don't let
quick.
them
You
have
better
a curbside. Don't let
thanks.
them have a curbside pickup, baby. You won't see me in these stores. Yes, but thank you, Catherine, for sharing so much. Yes, just make sure you don't lose yourself in all of the grinding. But I do agree that you should spread the light in contact with anyone that you meet in public because I am a firm believer you would never know what people are going through. So,
Yeah, I think it's
yes,
wise and helpful.
I agree. All right, so those three came from TikTok. The last one I have came from YouTube. Thank you for commenting and subscribing. This one came from Miss K Cooper 9. She said, "An all-encompassing woman is a well-rounded woman, a woman on her purpose, ensuring she pours into herself first, all caps, so she can nurture the people slash family around her." Thank you for sharing, K Cooper 9. What do y'all think about hers?
I think she's right. You can't pour into somebody else's cup if you haven't poured into yours yet.
I agree. You cannot pour from empty cup.
Yes, I agree, and you know, I'm learning that myself now.
Yes. Yes, you are, and I'm proud of you. All right. Well, anything else you ladies want to add before we go into the closing?
I really think that they all had really good points in all their posts. So I really enjoyed that they all wrote what they did because they all were trying to pour into themselves and pour into like what they want to be as a woman. So I think it's really inspiring.
I love that too. And I really like the fact that even though they all said different things, it all went back to the root, right? It's like,
Yeah.
again, it can look different for everyone because we're all unique and we all have different paths that we're going down in life. But the main thing is to, stay focused on yourself, make sure you pour into others, and just take it easy on yourself. Because, I mean, we're all characters in this big thing called life. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And life be life.
Life be life. And hashtag life be life. And put it in the comments. Well, I want to thank you, ladies, so much for joining me on the debut episode of Girl Talk Conversations with an All Encompassing Woman. Thank you to the viewers as well for joining in. I want y'all to know that this is the intro in one of the more serious conversations, but don't worry, because it only gets better from here. Next month, we'll be asking ourselves, what do we really want in a partner? Hmm. Stay tuned for that and make sure you're participating in the Q&As throughout the month. Thank you so much to Caitlin and Jessica for joining us on the debut episode again. And until next time, ladies, remember it costs absolutely nothing to be kind. So let's make sure that we take care of yourselves, show up for one another, and let's keep the conversations going. I appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Girl Talk Conversations. I hope today's episode gave you something to sit with, something to grow from, and reminded you that you are not alone in the way that you think or feel. If this conversation resonated with you, please share it with your circle, leave a review, and stay connected with us on social media. Your support truly means everything. Bye.